Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another spooky episode of An Anthropologist Watches Jordan Hall. Ooh, Jordan Underwood. Wonder why it's Jordan Hall on TikTok. Wonder what the story is besides that. We haven't checked in on Jordan in a while, so I just wanted to kind of dip in and see what's going on with Jordan. I'm really only interested in Jordan's lipedema journey and the little tidbits around that. So we won't be watching probably the majority of Jordan's TikToks just because they're not relevant to what I'm interested in. So also, I'm not a huge fan of TikTok, so if I don't have to interact with it longer than necessary. So before we get started, if you're new here, I'm an anthropologist by training. I'm an archaeologist, retired. Those are my credentials. I enjoy watching fat acceptance, and well, I don't enjoy it. But I do enjoy listening to the arguments and basically pointing out how they're either illogical, bad, or just in general misleading. And Jordan is a huge fat activist. They're big in fat acceptance and health at every size. Jordan was diagnosed with lipedema stage 5, I believe is what the story is right now. And I'm just genuine. I actually am interested in the treatment for this thing. Jordan, as much as they kick and scream about it, they are going through treatment for it, and they will do the damn thing. It's not like they're being, I guess in their mind, they're being forced because they don't have any other option. But in general, Jordan has made the decision to pursue treatment themselves. So that's nice. And I'm just genuinely interested in what the treatment is. And with Jordan being a fat activist with FA and Hayes, I'm interested to see what the blowback is going to end up being with Jordan, because inevitably Jordan is going to lose weight. And Jordan's story has been that the lipedema has nothing to do with their weight, has never had anything to do with their weight, and that they're just they can't help being the size that they are, and B, their obesity has nothing to do with their health issues. That's Jordan's stance, and that's the stance of fat acceptance and health at every size, that obesity is not inherently unhealthy, nor is it a cause of various other problems that you can have, despite what science says. So, okay, cool. You can live in your delusion, but I'm here to tell you, no. Anyway, so before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. And thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Ding, ding. Let's jump in and see what's been going on with Jordan since the last time we checked in. Okie dokie. I'm sorry for that. Jordan, like a lot of the more active FA, I wonder if I can blur that out. Jordan, like a lot of the more active FA and Hayes people, really likes to hang out on camera with very little clothing on. I think it's some kind of like power play thing. Like, look, I'm so content with my obese body and you should be too. And it's like, I don't want to look at any of it. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to look at a healthy model woman. I don't want to look at on social media. I don't want to look at any of it. Put your damn clothes on.
So I've actually been laid up in bed since Tuesday because of my chronic pain and my physical disabilities. But comments like this are so crazy to me because disabled people and chronically ill.
So the comment is, the short answer is yes. Med student here. If you would improve your life in many ways, you may still have it, but it would be less severe. Would have what? What is Sonia telling us? The average person doesn't seem to understand the concept of gaining weight because you're sick. They always think it's the opposite. It's tiring. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of a time that I gained weight when I was sick, but I don't have any chronic illnesses other than obesity. So, well, and migraines and arthritis. Okay. So, okay. But I've never gained weight because of my migraines, and I've never gained weight because of my arthritis. So, but I don't think either of those two things have ever been connected with weight gain. So there you go. I don't even, I think it's an apples and oranges thing there. All right. So tell me why you can't be healthy. Go.
Ill people will literally get anywhere on the internet and share like stuff about their disorders and stuff about their medical issues, like very personal, private information and treatment plans that they've clearly worked on with a team of doctors and experts in this diagnosis. And then random medical students or doctors who have no experience dealing with these specific health issues will just tell us that we're lying and tell us that, like, oh, well, actually, like, I know more about this disorder than you do.
Okay. We're going to stop there because I don't really care about the rest of it. One, don't trauma dump on the internet. The internet is not a safe space. If somewhere in your head a little tiny voice goes, should I share this on the internet? The answer is always no. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a picture of your brand new kitten. No. All right. I'm not saying don't share kitten pictures. I'm just saying if you are questioning whether you should put something on the internet and just somewhere in the back of your head, there's a little voice and it goes, maybe not, then no, you shouldn't do it. I personally do not think people should share medical information, mental health information, trauma dump. If you're going to do any of those things, like I'm following Jordan right now because Jordan is sharing their path to health about their lipedema. Also, I just noticed that they have a Van Gogh reprint. Oh, it's Starry Night too. Heart. Anyway, if you're going to put anything on the internet, somebody's going to react to it. Somebody somewhere is going to have something to say about it. And there's nothing you can do. It's the internet. If you don't want people commenting on your life, don't put it on the internet. That's just like, it's the only way to do it. I'm sorry that the internet is hot garbage, but it's the internet. It's always been hot garbage and it's not going to get any better. So if you want to protect yourself from people making snide comments or giving you unsolicited advice, just don't put shit out there. Okay? It's an unfortunate truth, but it's still a truth. Also, how in the F is this a video of Jordan Hall? They're not doing anything. Jordan Underwood, whatever. Jordan's just sitting here nodding. This isn't content, Jordan. This is worse than a reaction. You're literally just replaying this person's stuff. You haven't altered it. You haven't changed it. You're not contributing to it. How is this not stealing this person's content? At least I'm ranting. Anyway, next.
Content warning for dieting, weight loss.
I don't know much about lipedema. If you were to lose weight, would it get any better? Genuinely curious. Oh, Brian, you poor summer child.
And eating disorders in this video. So to answer this question, there is kind of a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is no. What we know about lipedema is that any sort of just like setting out to lose weight, setting out to lose fat does not impact the lipedema tissue.
Okay. But it also, okay. Go on.
That is to say that diet and exercise alone will maybe help you lose the regular fat tissue on your body, but the lipedema tissue and the subsequent pain, mobility issues, etc., are not impacted by regular weight loss.
I think that's counter to what I have read from the websites I go to, in that once the lipedema, once it starts developing, I know one of them is the nodules and one of them is the swelling. And one day I will get them straight, I promise you. Today is not that day. Anyway, once that has started to develop, you can't get rid of what has developed. Well, you're stuck with it unless you have apparently some kind of very specific surgery to get rid of it. But losing weight and maintaining a lower body weight will help with movement and with what was the other thing? Pain. There's a reason why Jordan was recommended to go on a keto diet, and that was to limit the inflammation that aggravates the lipolipedema. And my understanding is that Jordan is still doing the keto diet. Good for them. They did not like that, but because it is helping them, they are doing it. So clearly diet does have an impact on the severity of it going forward. Is the keto diet going to make it go away? No. Is my understanding once you have it, you're stuck with it. Does that mean that it's going to get worse? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm learning a lot about it just because of Jordan. Not necessarily from Jordan, but because of Jordan. I look up a lot of stuff. But again, not a doctor. Everything I know, I'm learning off the internet, which I do understand is the internet. So anyway. Oh, this isn't YouTube, Sarah.
That being said, if the disorder goes untreated, you will continue to gain weight through both the disordered fat tissue and fluid retention. Because once you get to stage 4, that is...
It's also, A, my understanding, and B, been proven by Jordan here, that once you get the fluid retention under control, which I don't think they've reversed it, but they're currently undergoing treatment to alleviate the fluid retention. And once the fluid's off your body, that's weight loss. I mean, it's water, but it wasn't going anywhere until you actively did something to get rid of it. So I don't know.
Lipolymphedema, which is the lipedema fat, disordered fat tissue, plus lymphedema, which is the pooling up of lymph fluid in the body.
Right.
And lymphedema can, if left untreated, impact really the entire body, meaning
that's the swelling. And yeah, I believe that
you gain even more additional weight.
But you're not gaining fat. You're gaining water weight because the lymphatic system is not draining properly. In my case, my flare-up began about 2.5 years ago.
In my case, my flare-up began about 2.5 years ago. And in that time, I gained over 150 pounds.
Okay, this is a new detail that Jordan has added onto their story. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops. Jordan started a series on YouTube called Lump Legs, and they posted about 5, 6, 7 videos on YouTube detailing their origin story with this lipolipedema, and then the first 5 episodes was tracking them through their journey to find treatment, and then they stopped putting up videos. I think because they started getting criticism, and probably some nasty. People aren't always kind. And Jordan does get a fair amount of crap because of various reasons, various other things that don't have anything to do with Jordan's weight. So there's that. Lost my train. Oh, but Jordan recently deleted all of their videos off of YouTube and completely changed, not completely, but drastically revised their origin story recently to better suit their needs. Jordan's very hyperbolic. Jordan likes to manipulate things to make them sound better and to give them an excuse for not doing things or taking responsibility for their obesity, for example. And this whole, I gained 150 pounds from my untreated lipolipedema, that's a new detail that we've never had before. As was the Jordan being on Wegovy, taking Wegovy and some other diabetes drug. So I don't know if they're still taking that stuff. I don't know.
And in that time, I was eating a very normal amount of food and exercising quite a bit.
See, whenever I hear people say this, I believe that Jordan believes that that's what was going on. I have never seen Jordan post a what I eat in the day. I rarely see Jordan posting anything about what they're eating. I see them they like to post their Starbucks drinks, and it's always like a mega large Starbucks latte of some variety. Right now it's because they're doing the keto thing. I think they're always sugar free and they're using some kind of plant milk now. But the point is Jordan thinks that the ginormous Starbucks is normal. And if that's what Jordan thinks a normal coffee looks like, that tells me what Jordan's normal amounts of food probably look like too. I think Jordan does believe that's normal, but I think that's just because the group probably the group of people Jordan runs around with are probably also heavier. And so they probably also consume large amounts of food. I know they have at least one friend who's basically a stick, which is fine. So they do have friends of all ranges of sizes, but Jordan, like most people who are of size like this, I don't think they're lying when they say, I only eat a normal amount of food, because they don't account for all the other things that they eat, or they don't consider snacks or high calorie foods or too much sugar or that kind of stuff. They don't account for that as also contributing to caloric intake. So on the one hand, I don't think they're lying, because I believe that they believe what they're saying, but reality is demonstrating otherwise. And the few little glimpses of Jordan's diet that we've seen, Jordan eats a lot, and Jordan drinks giant sugary drinks, loaded with dairy of some variety. Coffee by itself is not, other than the caffeine, coffee itself is not going to impact you. But once you take that coffee and you pump it full of sugar and you pump it full of milk, it's no longer, it's just milk and it's just cream and sugar with coffee flavoring. And cream, even just dairy milk or even the plant milks are very high in calories. Like a cup of plant milk can be up to 100 calories a cup, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on which one you're drinking. And just because it's a no calorie sweetener, that's not necessarily, there's no such thing as a no calorie food. Maybe water. I'm pretty sure water has no calories, but you know, whatever. My point is, the few things I've seen Jordan consume are always massive and are clearly a demonstration of the rest of what Jordan consumes. Anyway.
Which is why people say that lipedema is diet and exercise resistant. And
I've not heard anybody say that, honestly. And that includes people who have lipedema who have commented on videos that I've made. Like, a lot of them have said, yeah, this is, you know, you're stuck with what you've got, but you can prevent or you can mitigate going forward. And there's lots of people on YouTube who have lipedema. I didn't say your name. But there are people who are on YouTube who have managed to lose weight with lipedema. And again, it doesn't get rid of what you already have, but it seems to prevent it from getting worse. So I wouldn't say it's resistant. So.
And it's also why people with lipedema are very, very prone to eating disorders.
Are you sure people with eating disorders aren't prone to lipedema? Are you sure it's not the other way around? We go a lifetime of eating normally. Baby, child, sweetheart, I don't think you eat normally. I think your concept of normal is skewed.
Because we go a lifetime normally and continually gaining weight.
I don't think that's true. I really don't. I know that skinny people can get lipedema as well. I understand that. But, you know, skinny people can have heart attacks too. Are you more likely to have a heart attack if you're in a healthy weight range than someone who's either way too low in the weight range or way too high, which is usually what it is? No. You're the baseline. That skinny, that healthy person that died of a heart attack, that's the baseline. You're way above it. Okay? That's the difference. Okay. The body doesn't like stress. It doesn't react well to stress. If the baseline is the skinny person who dropped dead, then you're way up here. So your chances are much higher. Does that make sense to people? Anyway.
And because we continually gain weight, a lot of times we're like, oh, I must be overeating, so I'm going to eat less.
And I don't for a minute believe you eat less. This is why I would love to see a true, honest, not Jordan filmed what Jordan eats in a day thing, which will never happen because that would require someone to follow Jordan around and film everything Jordan eats in a day. And that would just be weird. So don't do that. That's creepy. But it's also the only way to get a what I eat in the day that isn't curated by Jordan to make it look like Jordan's eating less or eating healthy or whatever.
And then when you still don't lose weight, then you eat less. You still don't lose weight, eat less. That is how eating disorders develop.
And then suddenly you're an anorexic who has lipedema. I feel like even if that was true, like your overall body fat would drop even though the lipedema tissue would continue to develop. And I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've seen someone who is severely underweight who has an active flare-up of lipedema. Statistically, can that happen? Yes, because statistically anything can happen. Statistically, we could fall through one of the atom cracks in the floor and become part of the fourth dimension. You know, anything's possible statistically. But in the real world, I don't think that's something that can happen or has happened. I don't know. Jordan has a reality all their own.
All that being said, with proper treatment, weight loss will occur because
then, okay. This is why I don't check in on Jordan very frequently. All right, Jordan, keep doing gymnastics.
with proper treatment, that excess fluid will get processed out of the body, and some of the lipedema tissue will also get broken down through targeted massage and can actually get reabsorbed into the body.
Then lifestyle change, which includes exercise and diet, will improve lipedema. Okay, that's literally what you just confirmed after saying that that's not what happens. All right. Okay, anyway, onward.
And then, of course, if you get the lipedema tissue surgically removed, that would also result in a weight loss.
Here's my one question about that. And this is a genuine question. I'm not being snarky. If you have the surgery to have the lipedema, I think, to have the fat nodules removed, will they come back? Like, once you get rid of them, is it just a matter of time and they grow back kind of a thing? Or are they permanently gone kind of a thing? Like, removing a tumor, a non-cancerous tumor. Like if you remove it, it doesn't tend to come back. Is that the same kind of a thing? I don't know. I need to look that up, I guess.
And what we know from anecdotal evidence is that if people have lipedema and they do either get weight loss surgery or they undergo some sort of fat loss situation
type deal,
typically their pain may even worsen.
Okay. First off, you lost me at anecdotal evidence, so okay. So the two other people that you've talked to who have the same problem you do all confirmed for you the thing that you were thinking anyway. Cool. Where's the evidence? Of course, with pain, that's a whole other thing. Are you really experiencing pain, or do you think you're experiencing pain? That one's really hard to know. So, I don't know. This is so hard to watch.
At least from what I've heard. And
Okay, I've heard the moon's made out of cheese. I guess the moon's made out of cheese, you guys. Someone somewhere on the internet mentioned that the moon was actually made of cheese. Ergo, the moon is made out of cheese.
Parts of the body that are impacted most by the lipedema will remain the size that they were prior to the weight loss.
Without surgery. That's how I understand it. The problem with Jordan is like every other fucking word out of their mouth is something that you have to evaluate against actual reality. And then they'll say something that is actually true. And it throws you so badly because you're like, oh, wait, no, wait, that one was right. You are correct there for once. And then they'll immediately take a U-turn and go back to the delusional babbling that they do to make it so that their obesity has nothing to do with their lipolipedema. It's ridiculous, and it's so hard to follow. And this is a 5-minute video clip. Criminy Jehoshaphat.
But most people who do attempt intentional weight loss with lipedema.
It's very interesting. It's not interesting. It's very telling that Jordan says intentional weight loss here, because Fat Acceptance and Hayes believes that any form of intentional weight loss is fat phobic, and Jordan will do anything to not be fat phobic because Jordan is such a huge influence, I guess, in Fat Acceptance and Hayes. So if Jordan was intentionally pursuing weight loss, they would be going against the tenets of FA and Hayes. However, if it's unintentional weight loss due to treatment of some variety, somehow that makes it magically different. Ooh, that weight loss isn't bad weight loss. Unless you're asking somebody like Fat Sapphic Bro and a couple of the other FA people on TikTok who are like, any form of weight loss, intentional or otherwise, is fat phobic. So you can't win for losing is what I'm saying. But Jordan is trying desperately to disassociate from people who are intentionally losing weight because they're unintentionally losing weight, you guys. This is only happening because they're getting treatment. They're not intentionally trying to lose weight. It's still not YouTube.
Whether they know they have it or don't, have a very difficult time with it. It is I'm not going to say impossible, but it is just very, very difficult.
Because it's not impossible. Lots of people. Okay, anyway, it's not impossible. You just have to put the work in. Which Jordan is proving, by the way, by putting the work in. Jordan is intentionally putting the work in to get better. Props. And in the meantime, is visibly losing weight. Like fat weight. Actual weight loss weight. Not just the lipedema weight. The water weight. Lymphedema?
And again, doesn't necessarily improve any of the symptoms being experienced.
And again, I'm pretty sure that's BS and just what Jordan wants you to think, because Jordan cannot promote or accept intentional weight loss as a form of treatment for any kind of possible obesity related disorder, because it would completely blow this fantasy world that Fat Acceptance and Hayes lives in, where being fat doesn't have health complications alongside of it, even though obesity itself is a medical problem. You can be diagnosed with obesity because obesity is a disorder medically. I'm sorry if you needed to hear that, but it's true, and deal with it.
That being said, with proper treatment, as I said before, weight loss will occur.
It will. Okay. Gymnastics.
I got diagnosed at the end of May this year, probably around May 20th. At that point, I began treatment, and between then and today, I have lost over 100 pounds.
And it shows, and it looks good on you. I mean, and if you're losing that much water weight, good. I mean, that has to be good for you, because it's got to take pressure off of your heart. It's got to take pressure off of your joints. The only reason Jordan really went and started getting, okay, in the original origin story, the only reason Jordan started seeking treatment or diagnosis was because Jordan wasn't able to, their mobility was being compromised. And the loss of mobility scared Jordan enough that Jordan wanted to go get treatment. So that's the only reason Jordan originally was getting treatment. I'm sure it's different now, but in their own words, that was why Jordan was originally getting treatment. So clearly their mobility has improved, because I've seen videos of them walking around, and their mobility is, regardless of what it looks like today, has improved from the first few videos we watched of pre-treatment Jordan mobility, if that made sense.
But my clothes fit mostly the same.
No, they don't. They fit looser. Like, you visibly have lost weight. And not just in your face. Like, you fit your clothes better. Okay.
You wouldn't really know that I lost over 100 pounds. But
I've been saying that I could tell that you've lost weight. Maybe not 100 pounds, but it's been evident that you've lost weight for over a month now.
because, one, it was not something that I intended to do.
So it's magic weight loss. Okay, keep going.
It's just how my body responded to the treatment, which
Because that's how bodies respond to diet and exercise, and also treatment. But Jordan has been doing the keto diet, and as far as I know, hasn't stopped doing that. And Jordan has been spending an hour a day in a swimming pool doing water aerobics and that kind of stuff to help with the decompression surgery, or decompression treatment. So Jordan is eating a less inflammatory diet, and since keto is mostly whole foods and high fat, high protein, probably isn't eating as much as they used to. Just guessing. That's me speculating. But they're also more active than they have been in the past, and probably as their mobility has improved, they've probably become even more active just on the regular, because now they can move around again. So your activity has increased, your diet has changed. Yes, you're getting the decompression treatment, which I'm sure is pushing the majority of the water weight out, but it's not water weight that we see you losing, Jordan. So, changing your diet and having more exercise in your daily routine has contributed to your overall weight loss. Tell me again how diet and exercise don't work.
makes a lot of sense because, as I said before, during the flare-up, I gained, over the course of 2.5 years, 150 pounds. So,
and I'm sus of that number because at one point in Jordan's original origin stories, which unless you save those videos off of YouTube, you will never see it. But according to Jordan, in 1 month, they gained 40 pounds of fluid. I'm not saying they didn't. This is just Jordan's original story. So if in 1 month they gained 40 pounds of fluid, now it's over the course of 2.5 years, you gained 150 pounds. The math's not mathing, but
So then with treatment, that weight, which was primarily fluid, was now and is now being processed out of my system. In the month of July, in my calves alone, 11 liters of fluid were processed out of my body.
If true, that's insane. And that had to feel so good getting it out of your system. Like, I will say, from the beginning of Jordan getting the decompression therapy to the last time I saw Jordan's calves unwrapped, you can visibly see a difference. My point is that the decompression, still not surgery, the decompression therapy is definitely working, and it just looks like it would feel better. It just because it's a huge difference.
We know that because we took measurements at the beginning of July, and we took measurements at the end of July, and there's a computer program that my lymphatic therapist used to calculate how many liters of fluid were moving out of my calves, and it was 11 liters. So really the too long didn't read is no, but weight loss can be a sign that treatment is working.
So the TLDR is yes, but Jordan's not going to admit it because it goes against fat acceptance and Hayes. That was the actual TLDR. All right. Let's see. Anything else interesting here?
Get ready with me for a day of lipedema treatment. Today, I'm starting a new water aerobics class, which I'm very excited about. Anytime in the pool is really great for lipedema because water is naturally compressive, meaning that...
So, not only has Jordan been doing water therapy, but now Jordan's doing a whole new class of water aerobics. Tell me again how exercise doesn't help. How diet and exercise don't help with weight loss again. One more time. Just one more time. Jordan's legs are looking much better now. You can't not look. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, Jordan's legs are looking a much squished. I don't know how else to describe it. You kind of have to do a comparison picture 1-to-1.
That if you have any sort of disorder that impacts the lymphatic system, anytime in the pool, even not exercising, is going to be good for you because the compression allows the lymph fluid to move up in the correct direction through the body, which for lipedema means that you don't end up with more stagnant lymph fluid, which prevents the growth of more disordered fat tissue. After my class, I will go see my lymphatic therapist and do manual lymph drainage and trying on some new compression garments. I'm excited because today I'll be getting a compression short, which I'll be able to leave on even when I'm out working or running errands.
I like that sweater.
Bye! Get ready with me for...
Okay. So that's interesting. I'm glad Jordan's moving on up and doing more physical therapy basically to help out with their lymphatic drainage. And it is interesting to hear about the different compression garments. I'm learning a lot about compression garments and it's really kind of interesting to me. I kind of like, would I benefit from them? Even though I don't have anything, I don't have those. I'm just like, would it be beneficial to somebody who's like a normal, doesn't have these issues? Would that help with anything? Would it even affect anything, you know? Does it just feel like you're getting a really tight hug? I don't know.
So just to start, nobody said I was healthy. I have a chronic illness that went undiagnosed for 26 years of my life that I talk about regularly on this page. So...
Okay, so now it's gone from being undiagnosed for 2.5 years to being undiagnosed for 26 years. Pick. Anyway, we're not watching this one. This is just Jordan making excuses for why they're fat and they don't need to change. If you're going to go on somebody's page and leave nasty, stupid comments, then expect them to clap back. And I'm not going to hold it against them for clapping back. I don't hold it against Amber when she does it. I'm not going to hold it against Jordan when they do it. Especially since 9 times out of 10, when they're getting the really crappy comments, they often have nothing to do with any of the with any kind of like legitimate criticism against Jordan. It's just stuff like, you're ugly, you dress like you dress funny, brr, why are we using pronouns? Does it really hurt you that badly to not be a dick?
I'm blurry.
You are.
I'm back.
There you are.
What if we all just decided to bring back giving people the benefit of the doubt?
You give people the benefit of the doubt when you don't know their behavior patterns. It's easy for people to give Amber the benefit of the doubt when they first get introduced to Amber because they don't know Amber's patterns that are very evident and documented. Like, you just watch her videos. You don't even have to do anything else. Jordan's the same way. It's easier to give Jordan the benefit of the doubt until you watch enough of Jordan's stuff and then you know what Jordan's about. You don't have to give the benefit of the doubt anymore. You know. There's no doubt, I guess. You remove the doubt part of it, so there's no longer a benefit to give you. Anyway.
hate when people say that wheelchairs are only for people who need them. Because if you're gonna do away with wheelchairs for anyone who has the physical ability to stand for like a couple seconds, I think we should do away with strollers. Because toddlers can stand. Let's talk about the wheelchair video.
Okay, let's go. Oh my God. Jordan got so much backlash for this one. So much backlash. So much backlash. All right, let's see you try to support. Let's see you try to defend this one.
I want to start with this. At the time that I made that video, I was an ambulatory wheelchair user.
Okay. There are lots of ambulatory wheelchair users. There are lots of people who are capable of walking even 90% of the time, and just 10% of that time need a wheelchair. If you don't like that, then shove on. That's not Jordan's problem. Keep going.
My lipedema and lymphedema had progressed so badly that I had trouble walking from my couch to the bathroom. At that point, I was still undiagnosed, but since then, I've received a diagnosis of stage 4 lipedema and lymphedema.
Okay, that's new. Like I said before, in Jordan's own words, Jordan had stage 5 lipolipedema. I have never been able to find a stage 5 diagnosis on the internet, but I was giving Jordan the benefit of the doubt because I was also not the person suffering from it. Now Jordan has changed that to stage 4. This is why people don't trust when Jordan says things. Were you wrong because you were making it up? Were you wrong because you were lying? Were you wrong because you were guessing? Either way, you've changed the story now. Okay. And I'm pretty sure if you go back through my videos of me reacting to Jordan, you can catch Jordan saying that it's a stage 5 lipolipedema.
The day that I got that diagnosis, I began treatment and am now significantly
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
more mobile than I was when I took that video.
Okay. So are you going to walk back the crap you said about strollers and handicapped people?
At this point, there are still some situations, like if I was in the airport, where I would need to use a wheelchair. But
Okay.
for the most part, I can go to stores. I can walk several blocks at this point.
Cool.
You know, I can.
You being more mobile wasn't the problem with the wheelchair video. You comparing adult people with physical challenges to infants and then saying, well, they don't need strollers. That was the problem. The optics of the video were the problem, not your personal mobility. I'm glad you're more mobile. I really am. But
can do many more things without mobility aids like my cane or using the scooter at a store. It's been about 5 months since I posted the original video, and I do still stand by, for lack of a better word, everything that I said in the video. That being said,
so you still stand by comparing people with physical challenges to infants. Cool.
that time, several
Nothing against infants. It's just, it was really insulting. I don't even have problems, and I was insulted. I'm not even challenged, and I was like, ooh, you might want to take that one down.
very large platforms, including the Daily
Oh my God,
Wire,
this is a 10-minute video. We are not watching this whole thing. Okay, cool. All I needed to know is that you were standing by what you said. Wow. Okay, cool. I'm not watching 10 minutes of you doing mental gymnastics. I'm not seeing any actual updates on, because we've already done those. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's an actual update on Jordan's overall progress. other than little comments here and there in videos that I don't feel like digging for. I don't know how much longer I'm really going to do this, you guys, because Jordan just says stuff that makes no sense. Doubles down on things that are clearly inflammatory and, well, ableist. I don't have another way to put that. And really the only thing I'm truly interested in is Jordan's progress and to see how well the treatment's working and all that. That's what I want to know about Jordan. Something that I can actually be supportive of and am interested in. And if I have to sit here and just kind of wade through Jordan's BS, mental gymnastics, fat acceptance, haze crap, I'm not here for it. I'm sorry. But we'll check back in again in a few weeks to see if Jordan's posted anything about their actual journey, or if you know of a post. I think they've got an Instagram that I don't follow, but if you guys want to send me a link or something to Jordan specifically talking about their treatment and their progress with their treatment, go ahead and send that to me. I'm more than happy to look at it. And like I said, we'll come back in a couple weeks to kind of go over what Jordan's posted to see if there's any kind of actual update and not just Jordan reacting to really shitty comments or doing a fashion show, which I don't like Jordan's fashion sense. It's kind of like glitter and lasers. I don't like the clothes they wear. I don't want to watch it because I don't have anything nice to say. So there's that. I think Jordan's fashion sense is even worse than glitter and lasers, because at least Anna seems to be trying. Jordan seems to purposely be wearing stuff that is unflattering and out of fashion, out of style, whatever. I'm not a fashionista. I don't like Jordan's fashion. We're not going to watch those videos. So that being said, I think I've made my stance clear. If you have made it this far in the... Okay, if you've made it this far in the video, and yeah, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a black cat emoji in honor of Jordan's new fur child in this cute little video here of it chewing on her. Adorable. What is not to love about a cat? Anyway, go ahead and leave a black cat emoji down in the comments section. Feel free to leave a comment. I don't know why I have to say this, but when it comes to Jordan uses he, him, they, them pronouns. If that bothers you, don't use my comment section to explain it to me, because I don't care. And I really hate the fact that I have to come out here and say that. It's not going to kill you to respect somebody's pronouns. Okay? That being said, if you do have a comment that doesn't revolve around Jordan's pronouns, feel free to leave a comment down below. And yeah, like I said, we'll check back with Jordan in a couple weeks. And if in a couple weeks it's looking like Jordan's still not really leaving any kind of updates about their progress, we might skip it, because I don't really want to listen to Jordan's weirdness about how being obese doesn't cause health issues, because it does, and you're wrong. So, all right. Thank you to everybody who supports this channel. Thank you to everybody who's hit the like button. Thank you to my subscribers and my members. You guys rock. And this is your final reminder to leave a black cat down in the comment section and to give this video a thumbs up. Ding. You can give it a thumbs down too. I don't think the algorithm cares. And I will see everybody in the next one. Bye. Ooh, spooky.